welcome back to the channel. Out for a family camp this time. I've got my youngest daughter and my wife coming out, and surprisingly it's actually a glorious day. I'm sure many of you watched the last video and that wasn't a very glorious day, but this one certainly is, or it certainly seems to be starting off being. Myself and my wife are using the 5x5 DD hammock, and my daughter's using the Backwoods Bungalow because she's got a little puppy with her. She would be here at the moment, but it seems to have run off at the moment, so I'm sure that it will be back to be introduced to you at some point. But first off, I'm going to set the camp up. I'm just going to use a simple ridge line and make a bus shelter, so there's no point in showing you what I'm doing. I'll show you the Backwoods Bungalow going up because I'm going to do that slightly differently. I've got some walking poles to put that up with, so I'll come back to you in a bit. So this is the one Tigris Backwoods Bungalow that Holly and the puppy are going to sleep in tonight. So I've no idea how I packed it up. Okay, that's the top. That's it, that's it, perfect. Well, so that's how high. I don't know why they didn't give you something to stick your walking stick through.
You didn't just put it in the inside, just prop it up.
I think I brought you along for something. Look at that, they're actually exactly the right length. For a minute. Right, there's some guys out to the end. That's the bottom way. Don't make it too tight because we can always tension it. Try and use it as a guy line, so hook it round something if you can. There we go, camp is set. Now I'll show you our tarp because it really is something rather special. Now to say that this is enormous is the understatement of the... So I'm 6'4". I believe I'm going to be dry. Absolutely cracking. It's fast. I've only ever used this one for that hammock tent thing that I made out of it, but I think we're going to be very comfy in that tonight. Now I know in the video that I did about wood prep I moaned about the using the bow saw, but I was actually really impressed. I'd forgotten how good these things are, so I should have put my gloves on but I haven't, so and this is oak, so you can see how good it is. The other thing is, make sure you use all the blade when you're using a bow saw. You see people doing really fast in the middle, but it's about going slightly slower, but using the whole of the blade. Oops. So here we have the luxurious accommodation for this evening. 2 camp beds, enlightened equipment, quilts, got nice blankets underneath, woolen of course. And we're in this vast, sorry I keep saying vast, this enormous shelter. And then Holly's got a little home from home over there. So she and the puppy will be staying. Now when you're out doing some hardcore crafting, it's always nice to have a little backup. A nice cold glass of Sauvignon Blanc in my bushcraft wine glass. Cheers. It's certainly so much more relaxed than last week in the storm. Here's the newbie in the camp. Avellana. Hey. There, look at that little face. Lovely little licky girl, aren't you? Yeah. Pretty girl. Good girl. Okay, today Holly's going to have a go at lighting the fire. She's never done this before, so we're going to have a crack at this. So you lean it down on there, so you're pressing down, and then shut. Try not to go too far down. Okay, let's get some these thin bits that you want really. Oh, that thick bit there. So if you can nestle it in there. There you go. Okay, we have life. So we've got a bit of sawdust on there. Well done, Holly. I do let that go. And put some of the bigger stuff on there, isn't it? Well done. Do you remember when we were in Spain? Well, you probably won't remember it, but when we went travelling, it took me 3 hours to do that. And you've just done it in one hit. And that was all in one take, so there was no jiggery-pokery or photoshopping. That was it. One hit. It's obviously in the blood. Oh. Okay, there are a lot of other things going on around the camp, but I decided I'm going to butt out. Sarah's the chef today, so she's cooking. I'm going to make a spoon out of this. Well, I say this, it was one long piece like that, and I've just roughed out the shape of a spoon. It's still quite damp. It's one of the limbs that fell off during that storm. Now I have got a couple of extra things. Firstly, whenever you're wood carving, do take a first aid kit. You know, it's silly not to. Last time I was cutting it, I was making a teaspoon and I just nicked myself and there was blood everywhere. So just make sure you take one of those. You know, you should have one in your pack anyway. The other thing is I've got some of these cut resistant gloves, which I thought might be quite useful. Now I generally tend to cut with the right hand and hold with the left, so this is the one I've got on. So I'm going to start with this. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it would be dead boring, but it's just about getting rid of quite a lot of the material. And you can see it's nice and wet, so it's lovely and green. So I'll carry on doing this and I'll bring you back when I've done a bit more. The brown stuff in the middle is like rock. It's really hard. So I can only assume that this is a tree that's died. And it's not really very green, so I might well have another look around the woods to see if I can find another piece, because This is fire fodder.
My name is Sarah and I'm out in the woods with my husband and my daughter and her little puppy. And I'm going to cook tonight Moroccan lamb. Around, and there's a little bit of wine in the bottom already. Given our drama of opening the wine bottle. And then we're going to need some red wine, the same amount, so I'm just going to add it to the can. So we'll just leave this now for a couple of hours just to toil and trouble and bubble and meld and brew, and I'll taste it a bit later and then just work out how much salt to add, because some of the times the stock pots are really quite salty. Okay, a couple of hours to go. I'm just going to have a quick drink or two in the guise of how Richard does it.
Why are you looking at me?
Cheers. GoPro turn off.
This is Sarah trying to command the camera.
GoPro,
It's a
stop
very
recording.
simple explanation.
GoPro, stop recording.
GoPro, stop
You
recording.
can see my apricots dehydrating in their wine, and I'm just going to roast some blanched almonds in a minute. It's always useful to fork it before you serve it. Is that for you? Fair enough? That's fine. Thank you. Because we get the ones that when the caramel is nicked, we bought. We're going to have roast dog for pudding.
Good morning, everyone. Well, that was an absolutely belting night. It was a really nice family evening last night, chatting around the campfire, and the Moroccan lamb that Sarah cooked was delicious. It really was top notch. Even better that I didn't have to cook it. So, but yes, I was lovely and warm. Unfortunately, Holly wasn't. So I think we're going to have to get another sleeping bag for her, a down one. But she did have a hot water bottle, and so did I. And then she had 2 hot water bottles, but were still cold. So this morning we're just making a cup of coffee, and then we'll contemplate a bit of breakfast, and then try and get this enormous tarp back into its bag. Well, we're all packed away now. We decided not to have breakfast. That cooker is it's probably made for summer use, that little thing, because the gas keeps freezing and so the flame goes really low. So rather than spend hours trying to cook breakfast, we had a couple of croissants. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed Sarah's cooking demonstration, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.